You're number 4. The hour for convening the 2025 session of the House of Representatives having arrived. All members, please take your seats. 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 Doorkeepers will please close the doors and keep them closed. Good morning. The first order of business this morning is to read a communication into the record from the Secretary of State certifying the representatives-elect for the 2025-2026 term. District number 1, Mike Cameron. District number 2, Thomas S. Tarvin. District number 3, Mitchell Horner. District number 4, Casey Carpenter. District number 5, Matt Barton. District number 6, Jason Thomas Ridley. District number 7, Johnny Chastain. District number 8, Stan Gunner. District number 9, William S. Wade. District number 10, Victor Anderson. District number 11, Rick Jaspers. District number 12, Eddie Lumsden. District number 13, Katie Dempsey. District number 14, Mitchell L. Scoggins. District number 15, Matthew Gamble. District number 16, Athol Doyle Kelly III. District number 17, Martin Momtahan. District number 18, Tyler Paul Smith. District number 19, Joseph Gullett. District number 20, Charlize Bird. District number 21, Brad Thomas. District number 22, Jordan Ridley. District number 23, Mandy Ballinger. District number 24, Carter Barrett. District number 25, Robert Todd Jones. District number 26, Lauren W. McDonald III. District number 27, Lee Hawkins. District number 28, Brent Cox. District number 29, Matt Dubnik. District number 30, Derek McCollum. District number 31, Emery West Donahue Jr. District number 32, Christopher B. Irwin. District number 33, Alan Powell. District number 34, Devin Seabaugh. District number 35, Lisa Gale Campbell. District number 36, Ginny Earhart. District number 37, Mary Frances Williams. District number 38, David Lawrence Wilkerson. District number 39, Terry Alex Cummings. District 40, Kimberly R. New. District number 41, Michael Smith. District number 42, Gabriel Sanchez. District number 43, Solomon Adesanya. District number 44, Donald L. Parsons. District number 45, Sharon Cooper. District number 46, John K. Carson Jr. District number 47, Jan Jones. District number 48, Scott Hilton. District number 49, Charles E. Martin Jr. District number 50, Michelle Au. District number 51, Esther Panich. District number 52, Shay Roberts. District number 53, Deborah Donaldson Silcox. District number 54, Betsy Holland. District number 55, Inga Willis. District number 56, Bryce Vernon Berry. District number 57, Stacy Evans. District number 58, Park Cannon. District number 59, Phil Olalier. District number 60, Sheila Jones. District number 61, Micaiah McQueen. District number 62, Tanya F. Miller. District number 63, Kim Schofield. District number 64, Sylvia Wafer Baker. District number 65, Robert Dawson. District number 66, Kimberly Alexander. District number 67, Lydia Glaze. District number 68, Derek L. Jackson. District number 69, Deborah Bazemore. District number 70, Lynn Smith. District number 71, Justin Howard. District number 72, David Huddleston. District number 73, Josh Bonner. District number 74, Robert Flournoy Jr. District number 75, Eric W. Bell II. District number 76, Sandra Givens Scott. District number 77, Rhonda Bernal. District number 78, Demetrius M. Douglas. District number 79, Yasmin Neal. District number 80, Long Tran. District number 81, Noel Kahinan. District number 82, Karen I. Mathiak. District number 83, Karen Lupton. District number 84, Mary Margaret Oliver. District number 85, Carla L. Drenner. District number 86, Amani Barnes. District number 87, Viola Davis. District number 88, Billy Mitchell. District number 89, Omari Crawford. District number 90, Sarah Draper. District number 91, Angela Moore. District number 92, Rhonda S. Taylor. District number 93, Doreen Carter. District number 94, Karen L. Bennett. District number 95, Darshawn Kendrick. District number 96, Arlene Beckles. District number 97, Ruwa Roman. District number 98, Marvin Lim. District number 99, Matt Reeves. District number 100, David Clark. District number 101, Scott Holcomb. District number 102, Gabe Okoye. District number 103, Sue Hong. District number 104, Charles Paul Efstration III. District number 105, Sandra Lynn Donatucci. District number 106, Shelley Hutchinson. District number 107, Samuel L. Park. District number 108, Jasmine Clark. District number 109, Dewey L. McLean. District number 110, Segum Adenia. District number 111, Ronaldo Martinez. District number 112, Hugh B. Williamson III. District number 113, Sharon Henderson. District number 114, Tim Fleming. District number 115, Regina Lewis Ward. District number 116, El Mahadi Holly. District number 117, Mary Ann Santos. District number 118, Clint Crow. District number 119, Holt Persinger. District number 120, Houston A. Gaines. District number 121, Marcus A. Wiedauer. District number 122, Spencer R. Fry, Jr. District number 123, Robert F. Leverett. District number 124, Trey Rhodes. District number 125, Gary Richardson. District number 126, L.C. Miles, Jr. District number 127, W. Mark Newton. District number 128, Mac Jackson. District number 129, Carlton L. Howard. District number 130, Lynn Gladney Hefner. District number 131, Rob Clifton. District number 132, Brian L. Prince. District number 133, Danny Mathis. District 134, Robert L. Dickey III. District number 135, Elizabeth Camp. District number 136, David Jenkins. District 137, Debbie G. Buckner. District number 138, Vance C. Smith, Jr. District 139, Carmen Rice. District number 140, Tremaine Teddy Reese. District number 141, Carolyn F. Hughley. District number 142, Miriam Paris. District number 143, Anessa Jones. District number 144, Dale Washburn. District number 145, Tangi Herring. District number 146, Shaw Blackman. District number 147, Bethany Ballard. District number 148, Noel Warren Williams, Jr. District number 149, Floyd L. Griffin, Jr. District number 150, Patty Marie Stinson. District number 151, Mike Chokas. District number 152, William J. Bill Yurta. District number 153, David Lee Sampson. District number 154, Gerald E. Green. District number 155, Matt Hatchett. District number 156, Lisa Hagan. District number 157, Bill Werkheiser. District number 158, Butch Parrish. District number 159, John G. Burns. District number 160, Lehman Franklin. District 161, Bill Hitchens. District 162, Carl W. Gilliard. District number 163, Ann Allen Westbrook. District number 164, Ron Stevens. District number 165, Edna B. Jackson. District number 166, Jesse L. Petrie. District number 167, Homer M. Deloach. District number 168, Al Williams. District number 169, Angie Osteen. District number 170, Jacqueline Ford. District number 171, Joseph Melton Campbell. District number 172, Charles H. Cannon IV. District number 173, Darlene K. Taylor. District number 174, John Corbett. District 175, John LaHood. District 176, James Burchett. District 177, Dexter Sharper. District number 178, Stephen A. Meeks. District 179, Rick Townsend. And District number 180, Stephen Saints. This communication from the Office of the Secretary of State was certified by Brad Rathesberger, Secretary of State of the State of Georgia, and I now tender it into the record. At this time, roll call will be called. The clerk will please ring the bell. All members present will please vote yes or green on your voting machine to signify your presence in the chamber, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine. The next order of business will be the administering of the oath of office to the representatives-elect. On your desk, you will find a written oath of office. The oath will be administered at your desk. After the oath is administered, please sign the oath and place your district number at the top. The oath will be administered today by Justice Michael P. Boggs, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Georgia. Justice Boggs.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the invitation. While you're getting settled, I would tell everyone what an honor it is for me to be here, having been sworn into this body, the People's House, 24 years ago as a member myself. I hope you find your public service as enjoyable as I have mine. And I want to thank you for your service to the state and for your service in supporting the state judiciary. With that, I'm going to read this oath. If you'll raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible. I'm not going to ask you to repeat after me. Instead, I'll ask for an affirmance. At the conclusion of the first oath, I will be giving two oaths. If everyone is ready, Mr. Speaker, I do hereby solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of this state and of the United States, and on all questions and measures which may come before me, I will so conduct myself as will, in my judgment, be most conducive to the interest and prosperity of this state. I further swear or affirm that I am not the holder of any unaccounted for public money due this state or any political subdivision or authority thereof, that I am not the holder of any office of trust under the government of the United States or any other state or any foreign state, that I have been a resident of my district for the time required by the Constitution and the laws of this state, and that I am otherwise qualified to hold said office according to the Constitution and laws of Georgia. If you agree, please say, "So help me God." Secondly, keep your hands up, and I am required to provide a loyalty oath, which reads as follows. I am a citizen of the state of Georgia and a member of the General Assembly and the recipient of public funds for services rendered as such officer, and I do hereby solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Georgia. If you agree, please say, "So help me God." You may put your hands down. Congratulations to each of you. Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Please leave your oath of office on your desk, and it'll be collected at the end of the day. Please leave it on your desk, and it will be collected at the end of the day. At this time, we're going to ask that family and friends now depart the House floor. Friends and family, please exit the House floor. I like how you draw a sharp line between the bell ringer Friends and family, we need you to exit the House floor. All right, members, we're going to ask you to take your seats. Members, please take your seats. The next order of business. We have to take up the next order of business. Members will please take their seats. Members will please take their seats. Friends and family, we need you to depart the House floor. We have business to take up. The next order of business is the election of the Speaker of the House for the 2025-2026 term. The House is now open for nominations for Speaker. The chair recognizes the gentleman from the 158th, Representative Butch Parrish.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to place a nomination for Speaker of the House, the Honorable John Burns.
Representative Butch Parrish has nominated Representative John Burns to be the Speaker of the House for the 2025-2026 term. The chair recognizes the lady from the 173rd, Representative Darlene Taylor.
It's my privilege and honor to second the nomination of the distinguished gentleman from Effingham County, Representative John Burns, to be the Speaker of the House for the 2005-2006 term.
Representative Darlene Taylor has seconded the nomination of Representative John Burns to be the Speaker of the House for the 2025-2026 term. The chair recognizes the majority leader for a motion.
I move that nominations be closed.
Representative Estration has moved that the nominations be closed. Is there any objection to closing the nominations? Any objection? Hearing none, the nominations are closed. The chair recognizes the gentleman from the 158th, Representative Butch Parrish, to speak to the nomination of Representative Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Good morning, everybody. To you returning House members, welcome back. To you new members, congratulations and welcome. I want to take a few minutes to share with you some things about the person that I've nominated for Speaker of the House. You returning members know Speaker John Burns and have had the opportunity to work with him. To the new members, let me share just a few things with you about him that you may not know. He's a successful businessman. He's active in his church and his community. Speaker Burns started his political career at Georgia Southern, where he received his bachelor's degree in political science and met Dale, who became his wife. He later went on to obtain his Juris Doctor degree from John Marshall Law School. He was first elected to the House in 2004 and began his service in 2005, 20 years ago. And before being elected to the House, he served as a member of the State Board of Transportation. In 2015, he was elected Majority Leader. In 2023, he was elected the 75th Speaker of this House. He's been married to Dale for 48 years and is a devoted family man. They live on their farm that has been in their family for over 100 years. They have 2 sons and 5 grandchildren. He works long hours every day for all Georgians, regardless of your zip code. He works to make Georgia a better place to live, to work, to raise a family, and as he likes to say, have a little fun along the way. Education and literacy, health care, public safety, and job creation are just a few of his priorities. He's more interested in getting the job done than who gets the credit. He's a good listener and always has time to listen to House members. He's respectful and has a sense of humor with a quick wit. He has a way of simplifying complex issues, cutting through the arguments, the debate, and the doubt, and to offer solutions that everyone can understand. He gets the facts and then makes decisions based upon the facts. In challenging times like now, we need a steady hand on the wheel to help guide our state. John Burns is the right person to do just that. It's my honor and pleasure to nominate the gentleman from Effingham County, the Honorable John Burns, for Speaker of the House.
On the election of the Speaker of the Georgia House of Representatives for the 2025-2026 term, those voting for the gentleman from the 159th District, Representative Burns, should vote yes or green, and those opposed should vote no or red, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. On the election of the Speaker of the House, the gentleman from the 159th, Representative Burns, has received 153 votes. The gentleman from the 159th, Representative Burns, having received the majority of the votes cast, is hereby declared elected Speaker of the House for the ensuing 2025-2026 term. The chair appoints as a committee of escort the gentleman from the 158th, Representative Butch Parrish, the gentleman from the 31st, Representative Emery Donahue, the gentleman from the 26th, Representative Lauren McDonald, the gentleman from the 100th, Representative David Clark, The gentleman from the 16th, Representative Trey Kelly. The gentleman from the 161st, Representative Bill Hitchens. The gentleman from the 162nd, Representative Carl Gilliard. The gentleman from the 164th, Representative Ron Stevens. The gentleman from the 166th, Representative Jesse Petrie. The gentleman from the 157th, Representative Bill Werkheiser. The gentleman from the 160th, Representative Lehman Franklin. The lady from the 156th, Representative Lisa Hagan. The lady from the 57th, Representative Stacy Evans. The gentleman from the 41st, Representative Michael Smith. The gentleman from the 168th, Representative Al Williams. Will a committee of escort please escort the Speaker into the House?
I like doing that. Well, good morning, everyone. It's a great day to be in Georgia, but even a greater day to be a Georgian. My dear friend, Representative Chairman Butch Parrish, thank you for those kind words. I've always respected you tremendously in your service to your community and to this state. And certainly we have a lot of work to do, and we're going to continue to do that. Thank you. Chair Lady Taylor, from either further down in South Georgia than I am, thank you for your kind words as well. They are much appreciated. To a former member of this House who has always been a friend and will remain a friend, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Georgia, Justice Michael Boggs. Let's welcome and thank Justice Boggs for being our friend and taking time to be here to swear us in this morning. Mike, we appreciate you. If you will indulge me, a few remarks before we get on with the business of the day. I certainly am humbled and honored by your continued trust and confidence in me to lead this body. I'm looking forward to working alongside each one of you in this chamber to advance strong, common sense policies that will continue to make Georgia the best place to live, work, raise a family for generations to come. Speaking of family, I've been blessed to have a person of great strength and great intellectual ability. All y'all know what that means. She's smarter than I am. To work alongside me, beside me, and many times in front of me as I do this job. A thank you to my wife, Dale Burns, whose passion for education, for her neighbor, for her family, and her continued strong support to me does not go unnoticed. Dale, if you'll stand, she's in our gallery. Thank you, Dale. I really appreciate what you do for the people of Georgia. Love you very much, and I look forward to continuing the work that we have together, especially on literacy. You know, we've accomplished a lot over the last 2 years. Together, we passed the largest income tax reduction in our state's history and returned billions of dollars to Georgia's hard-working taxpayers. Together, we've invested over $1.5 billion in our critical infrastructure in every corner of this state and laid the groundwork for continued economic development success across Georgia. Together, we've taken the first critical steps in expanding access to quality, affordable health care for the citizens of this state by passing Certificate of Need, reform, and investing in Georgia's medical education programs and partnerships throughout this state. Together, we made our homes and communities safer by cracking down on illegal immigration, increasing penalties for dangerous crimes, and supporting our law enforcement heroes who put their lives on the line daily to keep us safe. Together, we will prioritize the future generations of our state by fully funding quality basic education, expanding funding for pre-K programs, increasing literacy initiatives, and providing pay raises for our teachers and educators across Georgia. And together, we will continue championing every citizen, business, and family that calls our state home. As we look forward to the next 40 legislative days, I am incredibly confident in each member of this body and our ability to come together to pass measures that make Georgia a better place. We will continue working to access health care. We will continue championing taxpayers and businesses of every size across our state. We will continue supporting Georgia's growing families and providing opportunities for economic security and mobility for every citizen in our state. We will continue investing in education, bolstering literacy initiatives that are so important to us, increasing school safety, and ensuring a brighter future for our children. We will prioritize mental health of our students and ensure that children have access to help when they face a mental health crisis. We will continue to further address public safety by supporting our state prisons and the men and women who work within those facilities. Now, you all know this is far from a comprehensive list of the issues we will examine this session. And as I always say, there's nothing we can't discuss in this chamber. We will continue to be guided by the facts, debate the issues that matter most, and develop strong legislation that makes a difference for our citizens, our communities, and for this great state of Georgia. Thank you all for the confidence you've shown in me in the past. I hope that I can repay that confidence in the future by being open for discussion as we develop the best, very best policy we can. Now, I've got something else to tell you. We're going to do some of those things. We've done a lot of those things. Now, guess what? Let's get to work. It's time. Thank you all. Doorkeepers, I think you have those doors locked, so keep them locked. New members, I think you're aware of this, but as is our custom, we will begin our day with script reading and words from the chaplain, after which we will pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. I'm going to introduce the chaplain of the day. He's a dear friend and a former member of this house who served 16 years with distinction. Held many important chairmanships while as a member of this house, but most importantly, probably was the last one he held was the chairman of ethics. His wife Debbie is here with him. Debbie and Randy Nix have 2 children, Julie and Jess. They're pretty grown now. They're very grown now. So just a little bit about Randy's background. Randy not only served his constituents here in Georgia, but he also was a member of the U.S. Army, where he served as a chaplain. And I don't know how he went this direction, but I know he's a little bit close to the state line over there, but he also served in the Alabama National Guard. And I'm sure they miss you over there, no doubt about that. Randy is a graduate of Troy State University with a bachelor's degree in business. But what I want to tell you about Randy, those things are important. His family is important. The church that he serves, Hillcrest United Methodist Church in LaGrange, is important. But Randy Nix is a good man. Those of you in this body who have had the pleasure and the honor of serving with Randy Nix know I speak the truth. Those that don't and have not had that opportunity, take my word for it. I don't use a good man about anyone very often. So we're blessed, and I'm honored today to introduce to those of you who do not know Randy Nix, Chairman Randy Nix, to bring our message today. And I'm thinking, since he knows the posture we're in, beginning this session, this message will be very timely. Chairman Nix, come forward if you will and speak to us. Thank you, friend.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that very, very kind introduction. I am delighted to be here with you today. I know it's a busy and an important day. And I know I need to be brief, so I think I can squeeze this 2-hour presentation into 45 minutes. He's already told me that security would be here before that was over. I know he's ready to be speaker. When he hit this gavel over here a while ago, it scared me to death. You know, as he said, I served 16 years, and I can greatly appreciate every one of you, and I do. I appreciate personally your commitment to serve the people of your district, your willingness to put your name on a ballot and go through what it took to get elected, and your willingness to be here to serve the people of the state of Georgia. And I just pray that the words I will use for a few minutes here will be used by the Lord that will give you some encouragement and inspiration as you begin this journey of these 2 years of this session. Now, I have been blessed with some very awesome opportunities in my life, and serving in this house was one of them. Another awesome opportunity I had was being selected to fly the RF-4C Phantom jet in the Alabama Air National Guard. Now, that was truly an amazing season in my life, and I could spend hours telling you about the exhilaration of flying that iconic jet fighter, flying at supersonic speeds, high-speed, low-level missions, 500 miles an hour at 500 feet or less. And if you don't believe those Georgia pines are tall, you just go, you do that for a little while. I could talk about nighttime low levels doing that, which are even more exciting. I could talk about puking in the cockpit, which did happen. And there was a saying that of those people who flew in the back seat, that therefore there are only two kinds of people, those who have and those who will. And I was both of those. I could talk about taking a buzzard in an engine, having to shut that engine down and come back with one engine, which is not easy to do in the F-4. I could tell you about losing some good friends in a crash. I could tell you about air-to-air refueling. I could tell you about the close calls and all those things, but since I don't have a lot of time, I just want to share one brief encounter that I had during the training when I was training to fly F-4s. At that time, Air Force Navigator training was at Mather Air Force Base in Sacramento, California. And Debbie and I packed up and we moved cross-country from Slapout, Alabama to Sacramento, California in November of 1977. And I started Navigator training right after Thanksgiving of that year. The first few classes that we had were classroom classes. We spent time learning the basics of flight, the basics of weather, the basics of navigation, and all those type things. And our first flights we had were in the T-37 trainer, better known as the Tweet. If any of you have ever been around a pilot training base, you know the sound that it makes. It's a whistling sound, and they call them the Tweets. Now, we did 3 or 4 of those, and those were really for people like myself who had no flying training whatsoever. And it gave us a chance to experience flight, to become familiar with it, to understand the dynamics of flight, basic navigation. We did a lot of aerobatics, and really I think the biggest part of it was just to see who would get sick. And most of us did at some time or the other. After 3 or 4 of those flights, we had what was considered our first real check ride in that airplane, and it was a visual navigation flight in the T-37. We had to draw our maps, we had to identify our initial point on the route, we had to have turn points, we had to stay on course, and we had to stay on time. Now my big day came, and I was assigned an instructor pilot who would fly the airplane, follow my instructions to navigate the route, and return to base, and he would evaluate my skills and give me a pass or a fail on that check ride. We took off and got to the beginning of the route. I found my initial point, and we descended down into the mountains out near Lake Tahoe. We were down flying through the valleys, and I made my first couple of turns right on time and right on target. And I'm thinking, man, this is just a piece of cake. Well, about that time, very suddenly, things began to deteriorate on me. I had marked a big, pretty good sized lake that was supposed to be right in the middle of our course that we were supposed to fly over. And I couldn't find that lake. This is a visual navigation ride. I'm looking around, I'm frantically flipping through my map, seeing if I missed something. I'm trying to recomputate my headings and everything, and I'm actually just fixing to panic, because here I was on my very first check ride, and I was about to bust it. I was really, really getting worried. Now, my pilot sensed what was going on, and he said, "Hey, let me show you something." And he just pulled back a little bit, and we climbed maybe 400 or 500 feet. And right over that ridge line over there was my lake. Well, I was kind of happy to see the lake, but I was worried to death because I knew I had just busted my first check ride, and my heart completely sank. And I remembered the unit when I left, they all had bragged about, we've never had anybody wash out of pilot training or nav training, and everybody's always done so good. And man, I just felt like the whole pride of the unit was on my shoulders now, and I was about to bust my first check ride. I made a correction, and I got back on course and finished the mission without any further problems. After we landed, my pilot told me to put up my gear and come back and meet him in the conference room, and we would do a debrief. As I put my stuff up, I was wondering, what in the world am I going to tell the commander back at the unit when he finds out I busted my first check ride? What am I going to tell Debbie? She went 2,000 miles across country out there, and here I was about to fail. Needless to say, depression was about to set in. I walked into the conference room, and my pilot was sitting there waiting for me. And I sat down across from him, and he said, "Hey, tell me what you think about the check ride." Well, to be totally honest, I said, I guess I must have busted that check ride because, I got off course there in the middle. I was lost. And he looked at me and he grinned and he said, "Lieutenant Nix, today is your lucky day." And I thought, how's that? I said, how is this my lucky day? He said, "Because you were flying with me." He said, as soon as I saw the error, I corrected and I got back on course and I finished good. Everything worked out. And he said he was sure that I had learned a lot. And he wrote on my evaluation form, "Passed. Move on to the next phase." Wow. I had come from an extreme low to an exhilarating high. Instead of failing, I had passed and actually got complimented for what I did right. Instead of getting hammered, which is what I thought was going to happen, I was granted grace and mercy. Those two biblical terms, grace and mercy? Grace appears about 170 times in the Bible, and the word mercy appears about 270 times. Now, grace is when God gives us something that we don't deserve. Our salvation from sin through the blood of Jesus Christ is a grace that's given to us. It's a work of God's goodness. John Calvin said, "Grace is the free and unmerited favor of God bestowing upon us blessings that we do not deserve." So I had received a blessing. Mercy. Mercy is often associated with kindness and compassion. God not punishing us for something that we deserve. Compassion that forgoes punishment even when justice demands it. Now, having served here, I know that over the next several months, you will be on a mission. You will be on a journey, and it will be full of people who will be flying with you. Problems are going to arise. People will get lost. Days will get long and tempers will get short. And some people will despair. Let me challenge you this morning during these times to be a merchant of mercy and a granter of grace. Matthew 5:7, Jesus says this, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy." You're not going to overdo it. You're not going to give away more than you got. It's going to come back to you. And in 2 Corinthians 12:9, when the Apostle Paul had a major problem, God said to him, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." At some point in time, you may be the pilot. You may be the one who's granting the grace and the mercy. You may be the trainee like me who's receiving it. If you're granting it, be gracious as you grant mercy and grace. If you're receiving it, be humble. Try to make the corrections you need to make and move on. Maya Angelou had this quote, and I love it. It says, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Now, it's been almost 50 years, and I still remember how I felt when I was granted grace and mercy. It is powerful and uplifting, so I ask you to be generous in bestowing it on other people. And I'll finish with one last verse. Lamentations 3:22 and 23 says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning." Would you stand and join with me as we pray? Lord, I thank you so much for the members of this House of Representatives. Lord, I pray that you will give them servant hearts. Father, I pray that you will fill them with your grace and your mercy so that they can share it with others. Lord, I pray that you will bless their families while they're away, because we know that their families also sacrifice. And Father, I make this prayer in the name of Jesus, who taught us about grace and mercy. Amen. Now, if you would, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right.
Thank you, Randy, for those words of encouragement and direction. I think we'll put them to good use. Doorkeepers, you can unlock the doors, but I don't think you want to leave. Members, I think you want to stay here. We are going to have something a little bit different for new members than is our traditional day. So members, I would ask you to come back, take your seats. We received a blessing from our chaplain. I think you're going to receive a further blessing as we go into the next part of our morning. Aja. This morning, we're going to treat you to a couple of songs from a dear friend of mine who I respect very much for her work. Respect Aja Dominicone, and her husband Mike for being part of her community and all the great work she's done that the two of them do in their business lives and their work lives. So I want to welcome Aja here. Let me tell you a little bit about, for those who do not know who Aja Dominicone is. Chairman Werkheiser likes to claim her being from Glenville, and she is from Glenville, Georgia.
That's true.
Even though you have to say Bill's from there too, so we got it. Aja is a graduate of the University of Georgia first she graduated from Magna Scott and then the University of Georgia with a JD degree. So for all you Bulldog fans, we're in good stead here. So she's had a career in working in the business world, and so she's very successful. But during that time frame, she's also was crowned Miss Georgia. You can tell. So she also did very well when she went on, even though I think, and I know you do, think she should have been a Miss America. She was very close to being a Miss America, as she won several talent competitions in the Miss America contest. In fact, she was the talent winner in the Miss America contest.
How do you know all these things?
I told you, I know you. I checked with your mama, or your daddy, and all those people. They told me a lot of things about you. So for your listening pleasure this morning, Aja is going to sing our national anthem, so I'll ask you all to rise. And then she's going to give us a special treat on one of her favorite songs and one of my favorite songs, one of your favorite songs, and one of this state's favorite songs. So I'll leave it at that. You can figure out what that one is. Aja, we're so blessed to have you here. I'm so grateful for your friendship, and certainly we want you to bless this house and bless our state, because many people are watching with a couple of songs here this morning. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Okay, this next one's about request. And Chairman Hatchett, I really think you should come sing it with me, honestly. Don't be shy. It is in a higher key. You might not like it. It's Georgia on my mind. And I do encourage everybody to sing along. It makes me feel better. And you can relax. You don't have to stand up if you don't want to. Georgia, Georgia, for a whole day, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia, Georgia, the song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the night. Mother arms reach out to me. Mother eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road that always leads me back to you. Georgia, Georgia, no peace.
on my mind. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Thank you so much.
Wait a minute. Don't leave. This is day one. Could you come back 39 more times? Aja, thank you so much. And I wanted to make sure we highlighted Glenville. For those of you who don't know, it's down in southeast Georgia. That's where Chairman Werkheiser is also from Glenville. And but she makes her home now in Atlanta. She and Mike do, and they have 3 beautiful daughters. And we appreciate all of their. Aja, we appreciate you taking time today to make this day so special and so memorable for those of us who have been through many of them, right? Minority Leader, you've done a couple of days here, and opening days, but for you new members, we wanted to make it special for you and a great memory on the opening day of this session. So thank you again for all of y'all being here, your attention, and Aja, thank you. It was special. Randy, thank you for the message. We appreciate all of you. You may greet the chaplain and Aja as well in the ante room. Take a photo if you like as we move into the next part of our business. Doorkeepers, if you haven't unlocked it, if you locked them back, you can unlock them now. If members will please take your seats, we have a considerable amount of other business we need to take care of today. So if members will come back and take your seats. Members, please take your seats. I know you want to spend some time with your families on this auspicious day, so if you'll come back, take your seats, we'll move on. Mr. Clerk, if you'll ring the bell to ensure that we get everyone back. Mr. Clerk. New members, we always have a doctor of the day that generously comes and spends their time with us. Today, our doctor of the day is brought to us by Representative Betsy Holland, and our doctor of the day, Betsy's represents the 54th House District. Thank you, Betsy, for bringing the doctor of the day. Our doctor of the day today has served here many times, Dr. Letitia Bilbrew. She's downstairs in the aid station, so if you or your family needs anything from a medical standpoint, be sure and go by and see the doctor of the day, Dr. Bilbrew. I'll also remind new members, you should be aware of this, but you may not be. We have EMTs that are here in the Capitol during every legislative day, so if you're in need of have any sort of medical concern, we're ready to help. So don't be bashful if you don't feel well or something. Check in with the doctor of the day or check in with our EMTs. Members will take your seats. We'll move on to our next order of business, and that is the election of the Speaker Pro Tem of this House for the 2025-2026 term. The House is now open for nominations for Speaker Pro Tem. The gentleman from House District 146, Chairman Blackman, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and congratulations, by the way. I rise today to nominate for the position of Speaker Pro Tem of the Georgia House of Representatives during the 2025 and 2026 legislative term, the esteemed member from the 47th District, the Honorable Jan Jones.
Representative Shaw Blackman has nominated Representative Jan Jones to be the Speaker Pro Tem of the House for the 2025-2026 term. I now recognize the gentleman from the 8th, Representative Stan Gunther.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the nomination of the wise and gentle lady from the 47th District, Representative Jan Jones, to serve as Speaker Pro Tem.
Representative Stan Gunther has seconded the nomination of Representative Jan Jones to be Speaker Pro Tem of the House for the 2025-26 term. Chair now recognizes the Majority Leader for a motion.
I move that nominations be closed.
The Majority Leader has moved that the nominations for Speaker Pro Tem be closed. Is there objection to closing the nominations? Hearing none, the nominations are closed. The gentleman from the 146th, Representative Shaw Blackman, is recognized to speak to the nomination of Representative Jan Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good morning, fellow members. Congratulations to you all. It's my honor to stand in support of one whose career and unwavering dedication to public service has brought immense credit to this chamber and to the state of Georgia. Throughout her tenure, she has consistently demonstrated her commitment to the people of Georgia, taking on various roles and responsibilities with a spirit of excellence. As our newest members will soon come to realize, they could not ask for a better ally to guide them through the intricacies of legislative life than Speaker Pro Tem Jones. She embodies grace and humility in her leadership, always putting the needs of others before her own. Her ability to inspire and uplift those around her speaks volumes about her character and dedication to public service. She also makes time to be a devoted spouse, mother, and grandmother. It is these qualities, along with her extensive experience and deep-rooted passion for our state, that make her ideal for this important role. I wholeheartedly support her continued service as our Speaker Pro Tem and encourage each of you to join me in expressing your support. Together, let us ensure that we have a leader who truly cares for all Georgians and leads with integrity and compassion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman has yielded the well. On the election of the Speaker Pro Tem of the House of Representatives for the 2025-2026 term, Those voting for Representative Jan Jones should vote yes or green, and those opposed should vote no or red. And Mr. Clerk, will you unlock the machine? Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine. On the election of the Speaker Pro Tem of this House, Representative Jan Jones has received 158 yeas and 19 nays. The lady from the 46th, having received the majority of the votes cast, is hereby declared elected Speaker Pro Tem of the House for the ensuing 2025-2026 term. I now appoint to the escort committee for the Speaker Pro Tem the gentleman from the 44th District, Representative Don Parsons, the gentleman from the 167th District, Representative Buddy DeLoach, the gentleman from the 4th Representative District, Representative Casey Carpenter, the lady from the 82nd District, Representative Karen Mathiak, the gentleman from the 178th House District, Representative Stephen Meeks, the gentleman from the 144th District, Representative Dale Washburn, the lady from the 40th District, Representative Kimberly New, the gentleman from the 179th House District, Representative Rick Townsend, the gentleman from the 49th Legislative District, Representative Chuck Martin, the gentleman from the 1st Legislative District, Representative Mike Cameron, the gentleman from the 22nd District, Representative Jordan Ridley, and the gentleman from the 89th District, Representative Amari Crawford, and the lady from the 79th District, Representative Yasmin Neal. Will the Committee of Escort please escort? I'm going to give them just a second to join the Speaker Pro Tem. If y'all will make way for Representative Neal to cross over. Will the Committee of Escort please escort the Speaker Pro Tem into this House of Representatives? Madam Pro Tem, if you will join me. I'm not going to miss an opportunity to have a photo with you. Members, if I can have your attention, please, again. We will now recognize the Speaker Pro Tem of this House, Jan Jones, for remarks. Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for the privilege to continue to serve you. I'm proud to know you, to work with you, and uphold the traditions and honor of the House. I want to thank the gentleman of the 146th from Bon Air, Representative Shaw Blackman, for his generous words. And I need a copy of that because I need to show it to my children. They would never believe anybody would say those things about me. And I want to thank the gentleman from the 8th from Blairsville, Representative Stan Gunner, for his kind words. I'm grateful to serve and with the support of the good people of the 47th in North Fulton. Thank you, Kaylin, my husband, our 4 children, their wives and husbands, and our 3 precious little grandchildren who each inspire me and make my service possible. They have stood by me patiently for a long time, as your families do for you. I'm also grateful to this body for its sound judgment in re-electing John Burns as Speaker. I know his generous heart and have experienced his sense of fairness and caring nature while serving alongside him for 20 years. He's passionately committed to this body and its mission in improving the lives of Georgians across the state. I'm honored to serve this House and you, Speaker Burns, on its behalf. I look forward again to Chuck F. Stration's steady leadership as Majority Leader and Majority Whip James Burchett's outstanding work. I look forward to a fruitful partnership with my friend and dedicated Georgian Minority Leader Carolyn Hughley, and thank you, Minority Whip Sam Park, for your service to the caucus, your caucus, and to the House. Welcome to the 18 newly elected freshmen to the People's House. As you begin what will be an extraordinarily rewarding endeavor for you and your constituents, I encourage each one of you to strive to be generalists, to understand how things work, but work also to become specialists to make a real difference for real people on specific concerns in your fleeting time here. And always prioritize your family and your friends. They were with you before elected service, and hopefully they will be with you when elected service ends. As Speaker Pro Tem, I pledge to serve all of you, freshman and veteran, Republican and Democrat, as we do the people's business for the great state of Georgia. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
A reminder, you won't be a member of this House if you don't leave your signed oaths of office on your desk. Don't forget. They say I can do what I want to sometimes, so I'm going to do that right now. Sometimes, then we'll get on with business. This will be brief. I want to recognize and have her stand so we can all congratulate the new Minority Leader of this House, Carolyn Hughley, who served with so many years with great distinction. Many great leaders have come to this place from Columbus that cared very deeply about not only Columbus, but about our state. Carolyn, thank you for your service. Thank you for your dedication to this house and the people of Georgia. And also, we thank Isaiah for being by your side and always working diligently for the better of his neighbors as well. Thank you for that. All right, members, now we'll move on to the election of the clerk of the House for the 2025-2026 term. I'm going to recognize the gentleman from the 11th, Representative Rick Jaspers. Chairman Jaspers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for recognizing me to nominate Bill Riley as our clerk of the House. Members who have been seated before sessions know what an exemplary man Bill Riley is. And if you're new to this House, you're fixing to find out he's been a lawyer, been a judge at the Appalachian District Courts, and has also been our clerk for a number of years. The clerk of the House must be wise, fair, and loyal to the members of this body. He is all of those. Mr. Speaker and members, I with pride nominate Bill Riley from Fannin County to be our clerk.
Thank you, Representative Jaspers. Representative Jaspers has nominated Bill Riley to be the clerk of the House for the 2025-2026 term. We now recognize the gentleman from the 38th House District, Representative David Wilkinson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, I proudly rise to second the nomination for the best clerk in the United States of America, Mr. Bill Riley.
I certainly second that sentiment, Representative. Representative David Wilkinson has seconded the nomination of Bill Riley to be elected clerk of the House for the 2025-2026 term. Majority Leader is now recognized for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that nominations be closed and that the entire membership cast their votes for the election of Bill Riley as clerk.
We'll see. The Majority Leader has moved that the nominations for the clerk be closed and that the entire membership cast their votes for the election of Bill Riley as clerk. Is there any objection to the nominations being closed? Chair hears none. The nominations are closed. Is there any objection to directing the deputy clerk to cast the entire vote of the membership who are present for the election of Bill Riley as clerk of this body? Chair hears none. The deputy clerk is so directed. On the election of the clerk of the House, Bill Riley received the entire vote of the membership who are present and is hereby declared elected clerk for the ensuing 2025-2026 term. Congratulations, Mr. Clerk. As a committee of escort, we will appoint the gentleman from the 128th House District, Representative Mac Jackson, the gentleman from the 43rd District, Representative Solomon Adensinye, the lady from the 51st, Representative Esther Panich, the lady from the 63rd, Representative Kim Schofield, the gentleman from the 18th, Representative Tyler Paul Smith, the gentleman from the 73rd, Representative Josh Bonner, the lady from the 156th House District, Representative Lisa Hagan, the lady from the 13th House District, Representative Katie Dempsey. Will the Committee of Escort please escort the clerk into the House when y'all all get together in the back? Committee of Escort, escort the clerk into the House. At this time, members, if I can have your attention again. Be my pleasure to administer the oath of office to the clerk of this house who served us so well over the years, and certainly by the clear outpouring of sentiment that I've seen here as he came into the chamber. He is very much respected by myself, but by each and every one of you. So that speaks volumes about his dedication to this house and his fairness. Mr. Clerk, if you'll raise your right hand, I will administer the oath of office to you. Ready? Sir. Do you hereby swear that you will discharge the duties of the office of the Clerk of the House of Representatives faithfully and to the best of your skill and knowledge? Do you further swear that you are not the holder of any public money due this state or any political subdivision or authority thereof, unaccounted for? That you are not the holder of any office of trust under the government of the United States, nor of any one of the several states, nor of any foreign state, that you are otherwise qualified to hold said office according to the Constitution and the laws of Georgia. If you do, please say, I do.
I do.
He has answered, I do. He is now duly sworn in as the clerk of the House of Representatives of Georgia. Mr. Clerk, we're glad to hear a comment or two from you. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, but everybody knows that the clerk reads and doesn't give speeches. All right, but I would like to acknowledge my bride up in the gallery and her nieces. Thank
you. Fanny, it's good to have you down. Come down more often. I know you try to get away from him as much as you can, but Mr. Clerk, to you and your staff, we do appreciate everything y'all do. Carrie, Scotty, thank y'all. Thank you. Let's give these two a round, y'all. Our next order of business is the election of a doorkeeper for the House for the 2025-2026 term. The House is now open for nominations for doorkeeper. I'll recognize the gentleman from the 48th, Representative Scott Hilton, for a nomination for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and congratulations to you and your family. As Georgia prepares to welcome college football fans next week from the far northern states of Ohio and Indiana, it has never been more important that this chamber has adequate protection from the best doorkeeper in America, our very own Mr. Corey Mulkey. I would like to nominate him. Thank you.
Mr. Mulkey is so nominated. We'll now recognize the gentleman from the 109th House District for a second, Representative Dewey McLean.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues of the House. You know, what I like to do is second the nomination of the best, the biggest, the brightest, and the strongest doorkeeper in all of 50 states, Corey Mulkey.
Amen. Thank you, Representative. I'll now recognize the Majority Leader for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that nominations be closed and that the entire membership cast their vote for the election of Corey Mulkey as doorkeeper.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. The Majority Leader has moved that the nominations of the House be closed and that the entire membership cast their votes for the election of Corey Mulkey as doorkeeper. Is there any objection to closing the nominations? Chair hears none, and the nominations are closed. Is there any objection to directing the clerk to cast the entire vote of the membership who are present for the election of Corey Mulkey as doorkeeper? Chair hears none, and the clerk is so directed. On the election of Doorkeeper Corey Mulkey, Corey Mulkey has received the entire vote of the membership who are present, and he is hereby declared elected Doorkeeper for the ensuing 2025 and 2026 term. Corey, thank you for your service. Thank you for making sure this house stays safe and order is always in place. We look forward to working with you through the next few months and the remainder of this term. With that, I want to recognize Corey Mulkey as the new doorkeeper for this house. Corey? The next order of business is the election of messenger for the House for the 2025-2026 term. The House is now open for nominations for the position of messenger. Chair will now recognize the gentleman from the 25th House District, Representative Todd Jones. Representative Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is my honor and my privilege to nominate Betsy Thiru as this House's messenger for the 25-26 term.
Representative Jones is nominated Betsy Thiru as the messenger for the House. The chair now recognizes the lady from the 69th, Representative Deborah Bazemore, for a second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am pleased and honored to be able to second the nomination for a dedicated, attentive, and always smiling and helpful person in Betsy Theron, and my friend.
Thank you, and you're right with all of that description. The chair now recognizes the majority leader for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the nominations be closed and that the entire membership cast their votes for the election of Betsy Thiru as messenger.
The majority leader has moved that the nominations of the House be closed and that the entire membership cast their votes for the election of Betsy Thiru as messenger. Is there any objection to closing the nominations? Chair hears none and the nominations are closed. Is there any objection to directing the clerk to cast the entire vote of the membership who are present for the election of Betsy Thiru as messenger? Chair hears none and the clerk is so directed. On the election of messenger, Betsy Thiru received the entire vote of the membership who are present, and she is hereby declared elected messenger for the ensuing 2025-2026 terms. I know of no one that exemplifies the spirit of service and kindness to all that she engages than Betsy Thiru. So join me in thanking Betsy and welcoming her back to a position she served this House very well. I think you're exactly right, Mr. Clerk. Betsy, since you're up here, come on.
Like the clerk, I am seen and not heard, but thank you so much. It's such an honor to do this again, so thank you.
Thank you, Betsy. Members, we have a fair amount of additional important business to tend to, so let's get started. The majority leader is recognized for the purpose of a first day of the biennium, some resolutions we need to take care of so this House can conduct this business. Majority Leader F. Stration, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House adopt House Resolution 1.
Mr. Clerk, will you read House Resolution 1?
House Resolution 1 by Representative Estration of the 104th, a resolution to notify the Senate that the House of Representatives has convened.
Are the lights on over there yet? Not sure. Okay. Well, you explain the resolution then, Mr. Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, good morning, everyone. Congratulations to all of you. This is our first housekeeping resolution we take up each year to notify the State Senate that the House of Representatives is here working, and I ask for your favorable consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Majority Leader is recognized again for the purpose of offering House Resolution 2. Mr. Leader.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Resolution 2 is our housekeeping resolution, which I would ask for an opportunity to present to this body in just a moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Mr. Clerk, will you read House Resolution 2?
House Resolution 2 by Representative Estration of the 104th, a resolution relative to officials, employees, and committees in the House of Representatives.
The Majority Leader is recognized to speak to the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is House Resolution 2, which is our housekeeping resolution we present each year. It authorizes for the employment of staff for the House for committee of 1 days that are utilized by members. It authorizes study committees to occur for members of the House. Would ask for your favorable consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Is there any objection to the adoption of House Resolution 2? Chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. Representative Estration is recognized for the purpose of offering a resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House adopt House Resolution 3.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, will you read House Resolution 3, the rules of this House?
House Resolution 3 by Representative Estration of the 104th, a resolution adopting the rules of the House of Representatives and for other purposes.
Representative Estration is recognized to speak to House Resolution 3.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, the rules are adopted each biennium by this body, and copies have been placed on your desk with the red cover sheet. As is standard practice, I will just go through the changes that are in the rules so we can go over those pretty quickly. So first of all, with respect to Rule 10, there is a renaming of the Juvenile Justice Committee to Judiciary Juvenile. Public and Community Health will be the name of what was the Public Health Committee. And there is number 33 is the Rural Development Standing Committee. In Rule 11, there will be a judicial subcommittee of the Appropriations Committee, spelled out at number 7 there. Rule 18, there is clarification that local legislation will be subject to treatment on the local calendar. But if there is a bill that's assigned to the Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination as a general bill, it would require 3 readings. Just to speak on this, there's been some confusion in the past when bills are introduced as to whether it's to be treated as a local bill or to be treated as a general bill. This would allow for greater clarity during that process, and it makes clear that a bill that is being treated as a general bill requires 3 readings, as would any other standard general bill. Would not be subject to the local calendar and expedited treatment a local bill would otherwise receive. All right, then on Rule 40, for morning orders will now be 15 minutes as opposed to 10 minutes. And as you'll recall from the past 2 years, this is an opportunity to recognize groups that have come here to the Capitol that may be in the gallery watching. We'll ensure that we have adequate time so that we can recognize our constituents, leaders in the state, folks who are worthy of recognition by this body in morning orders. Afternoon orders will be 10 minutes under these rules, and we'll make clear that the afternoon orders should be used for the expression of condolences, or that's when an appropriate time would be for the expression of condolences, absent authorization from the chair otherwise. Also, that political speech should not be utilized during those condolences. Moving to Rule 49.2. This would make clear that a member during each session shall not introduce more than 10 bills. And I just want to provide some clarity on this. Certainly to streamline the process with respect to Legislative Council and the Clerk's office when they are processing the amount of legislation that has to come through, it's very helpful for them to be able to process that in a timely manner so that we have copies out on our desk, that we're able to consider legislation in committee. Now, if this rule certainly, if the circumstances require, would allow for exceptions to be made when legislation would be absolutely necessary, where the rule could be suspended. But I will point out that also you as members have the ability to withdraw legislation that you've introduced prior to day 20 if anybody's concerned about exceeding the cap. I'd submit to you that it's very unlikely that a member would exceed this cap with 10 bills per year. It's not per biennium, it's just per year. Also, there are exceptions listed out here for local legislation, so that would not apply, appropriations bills, etc. All right. The next one is Rule 164E. So this is with respect to circumstances when multiple ethics complaints are submitted over the substantially same matter, so that the same issue is being brought up repeatedly, either about one member or about multiple members. It would allow for the ethics committee in response to provide a standardized response to those complaints when issued. And then finally, Rule 177 is, now that we have the Office of General Counsel of the General Assembly, this would allow for, in circumstances of a member being served with a suit, that the Office of General Counsel is to be notified in those circumstances. Mr. Speaker, I've hit each of the changes that there is, I think, one rule with some minor cleanup changes as well, but it's not substantive. Mr. Speaker, I have just gone over all of the changes of these rules from the previous biennium, and I'll be happy to stand for questions if there are any.
Yes, sir, Mr. Leader, you have a couple of questions. If you'd be glad to yield, I'll recognize the Minority Leader, Representative Hughley, for a question. Representative Hughley.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Majority Leader, speaking in advance. Would you yield?
Yes, I'll yield. Yeah. I knew what you meant.
I draw your attention to Rule 12.2. It's not a new rule, but isn't it true that by voting for these rules, we're giving our consent that the Committee on Assignments shall continue without a seat at the table for the majority membership?
The Committee on Assignments, which determines the makeup of committees, is unchanged from the previous biennium. That's right.
So again, isn't it true that there's no representation by the minority on this committee?
Well, I certainly know that the Minority Leader has a great deal of influence here in this body, but the makeup of the Committee on Assignments has not been changed. This is as it's been, to my memory, as long as I've served in this body.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Can I direct you to Rule 49.3? On the limit of the number of bills that members can introduce, can we, as a result, expect a better turnaround time from the Legislative Council about our bills that members are waiting for?
I know that members have expressed concern about turnaround time, particularly later in session, and that there's been a great deal of interest in supporting legislative councils so that turnaround time can be increased. Obviously, they do terrific work for all of us here. And my counsel to members is to get with legislative council as early as possible so that there can be as much time as possible for that. And with a schedule in place, there'll be the ability to plan for that.
One final question, if the gentleman yields.
Yes, ma'am.
Rule 173 regarding our excused absences. Isn't it true that this rule does not recognize that we are citizen legislators who, most of us have other jobs, and on the rare occasion where we need to be away because of that business, it does not allow for an excused absence or any allowance such that the member who has to be away for business, their voting record will be compromised because they're going to show that they're going to be not excused?
Well, I'll just say this. With respect to Rule 73, there's no change from the rules as they were in the previous biennium. I think that we all have responsibilities, personal, professional, and the like. And this very clearly sets out when it's to be classified as an excused absence and when it's not, to provide clarity to all members.
Thank you, Mr. Leader.
Thank you.
Thank you for those questions, Leader. Chair now recognizes the Minority Party Whip, Representative Park, from the 107th. Representative.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Leader of Illustration, do you yield?
Yes,
question? Regarding Rule 18.5, in which your presentation noted it was to clarify the process regarding local legislation, can you commit that this new Rule 18.5 will not be utilized to undermine the will of local delegations regarding local legislation?
So the issue has been, Mr. Whip, that there has been a lack of clarity certain times as to how bills are to be treated. Either to be treated as a local bill, which entitles it to be on a local calendar, or to be treated as a general bill, sometimes dictated by our rules in other areas. And I hate to give the Senate credit sometimes, but the Senate has very clearly classified those bills very early on in the process, which has then provided members greater clarity moving forward. I believe that this Rule 18 is going to allow for us to have similar clarity very early in the process. And so that's my response.
Would you yield for one more question?
Yes.
So under the House rules, specifically House Rule 50, that does lay out specific issues in which local matters would otherwise be treated as general legislation, including political subdivisions. Though, of course, the rules also give and authorize the Speaker the ability to submit any piece of legislation to a committee. And so in light of the discretion that the majority party, yourself and the Speaker, has, again, the request of the minority is to, again, ensure that the will of local delegations in our caucus and in this body are respected. And I look forward to working with you and the Speaker to ensure that that is the case.
Well, with respect to the Whip's question, my response would be, there have been members in the past who have inquired of me, what treatment is this bill to receive? Is this a general bill or a local bill? And how is it to be classified during the process? I think the desire here is to provide clarity on that so that members know, streamlines the process, and is fair in the implementation of as bills are considered. These rules can now be followed so that the member can be aware of what treatment that bill is to receive.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr.
The
Speaker.
gentleman yield for one more question.
Yes, sir.
Representative Buckner from the 137th to your left has a question. Representative Buckner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On page 24, you mentioned that by day 20, the bills could be withdrawn so that if we had more than the limited number, But in the writing there, it says day 15. Did you just, is it day 15 or day 20?
I believe you're correct. My understanding is that bills can be withdrawn up to a certain date. And so the point is that if a member has introduced a certain number of bills and they would like to have the ability to bring more bills, they could either be withdrawn timely or they could go to a colleague who'd be able to introduce the bill along with them.
Okay. And if I could, I used to have to do proofreading, so on page 65, privilege is misspelled in the heading.
Thank you. Well,
It's
my
been a
third grade
privilege to
teacher
have
will
these
tell you
answered.
it's been a struggle my whole life. So, Mr. Speaker, if there are no further questions, I will yield the well and ask for the body's favorable consideration of House Resolution 3.
You have no further questions. The gentleman has yielded the will. Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Chair now recognizes the Majority Leader for the purpose of offering a resolution, House Resolution 4.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House adopt House Resolution 4.
Mr. Clerk, will you read House Resolution 4?
House Resolution 4 by Representative Station of the 104th, a resolution calling a joint session of the House of Representatives and the Senate for the purposes of hearing a message from the governor.
Majority Leader is recognized to speak to the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I present to you House Resolution 4. This is a resolution to invite the governor and the state senate to the House chamber this Thursday to hear the governor's State of the State address. I ask for your favorable consideration.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution? You've explained it, right? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Let's see now. This is a very important part in this discussion. Now we will appoint a committee of escort to deliver this message to the governor. Let's see who's on there. Let's see. The gentleman from the 26th, Representative Lauren McDonald. The lady from the 103rd, Representative Sue Hong. The gentleman from the 9th, Representative Will Wade. The gentleman from the 15th, Representative Matthew Gamble. The lady from the 47th, Speaker Pro Tem Jan Jones. The gentleman from the 104th, Representative Chuck F. Strachan. The lady from the 141st, Representative Carolyn Hughley. The gentleman from the 154th, Representative Gerald Green. The gentleman from the 176th, Representative James Burchett. The gentleman from the 107th, Representative Sam Park. The gentleman from the 121st, Representative Marcus Wiedauer. The gentleman from the 120th, Representative Houston Gaines. The gentleman from the 124th, Representative Trey Rhodes. The gentleman from the 122nd, Representative Spencer Fry. You all will serve as an escort to deliver the message to the governor. And we'll move for immediate transmittal on that as well. We have two resolutions that we will need to pass on to the governor, and I got one ahead of the other. So what we just passed and what I appointed the committee of escort for is to bring the governor here when he addresses this house for the state of the state. Chair recognizes the lady from the 141st, the minority leader, for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We would like to have the opportunity to reconsider this House approval of the rules without a vote. We wanted to object to that. And of course, you know, this is my first day. So if you would allow us an opportunity to object.
I understand. I believe I gave notice, and I apologize that maybe we didn't communicate on the objection, but I believe by the rules of this House that you will have to maybe register your objection in a different manner. So that's the ruling of the chair on the ability to reconsider the objection. For what purpose does Representative Campbell, you have a question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move now we reconsider our action relative to House Resolution 3.
We've already moved on and we've considered another resolution, so that motion would be out of order now. We are moving on to the next resolution, which is, I believe, resolution. Let's do the immediate transmittal. Let's go back and get that. No. Each year, part of the process here with the Senate, we get a message from the Senate that they have adopted the resolution to notify the governor that the General Assembly has convened. Then we'll has convened, and then we'll have the pass this on to the governor. So here we go. Senate Resolution 2 to notify the governor that the General Assembly has convened. Is there any objection to adopting the resolution? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. The chair appoints as a committee of notification on the part of the House the following members: the gentleman from the 178, Representative Stephen Meeks; the gentleman from the 160th, Representative Lehman Franklin; the lady from the 139th, Representative Carmen Rice; the gentleman from the 2nd, Representative Steve Tarvin; the gentleman from the 24th, Representative Carter Barrett; and the lady from the 165th, Representative Edna Jackson. The majority leader is recognized for the purpose of offering a resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that this House adopt House Resolution 5.
Mr. Clerk, will you read House Resolution 5?
House Resolution 5 by Representative Estration of the 104th, a resolution calling a joint session of the House of Representatives and the Senate for the purposes of hearing a message from the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, inviting each other justice of the Supreme Court and each judge of the Court of Appeals to be present at the joint session.
The majority leader is recognized to speak to the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Resolution 5 invites the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Georgia and the State Senate to the House Chamber on Tuesday, January 28th, 2025 at 11 o'clock a.m. Would ask for your favorable consideration for the state of the judiciary. Thank you.
Mr. Clerk, tell me that date again. Excuse me, I mean Mr. Leader. Tell me that date again.
May have misspoke. January 28th, 2025.
January 28th. No, I think you spoke correctly. January 28th. Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. That completes our work. I thank Mr. Clerk. Have I missed anything? We're good. We'll move on to morning orders, Pro Tem, if you will.
We are moving on to morning orders. The chair recognizes Speaker Burns for a morning order.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. Members, appreciate your patience and your attention this morning. We have a special time in our state for many purposes. But in December, Georgians and Americans join together to mourn the loss and celebrate the life, if you will, of a man who dedicated his life to the betterment of our state, our nation, and of mankind, President Jimmy Carter. His life of public service began here in this very place, this state capitol, over 6 decades ago. And since then, President Carter's leadership, statesmanship, kindness, faithfulness, and love for our nation made an immeasurable difference in the lives of countless people, both right here at home and around the world. President Carter reached the heights of earthly success and power as the leader of the free world. But I believe one of the most cherished roles throughout his life was as a Sunday school teacher over in Plains, Georgia at his church. One of President Carter's favorite Bible verses, and he lived it, he frequently quoted Micah 6, verse 8. And I know that we can all agree that his life embodied these words. The scripture says, "He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." I always say that a story seldom told is a story soon forgotten. May we in this body, all Americans, may we always remember and reflect on the life and legacy of President Jimmy Carter, our state's 76th governor, a loving father, cherished husband, Sunday school teacher, peanut farmer from Plains, and Georgia's only native son to reach the office of President of the United States of America. If you haven't already, I was reminded yesterday as we began our session with a prayer congregation downstairs, as I looked over my shoulder, I saw a portrait. And if you haven't already, I encourage each of you to stop by the shrouded portrait on the second floor of our beloved Jimmy Carter, former governor and president and great human being. If you will, join me in a moment of silence. Thank you, gracious God, for blessing us and allowing us to celebrate the life of Jimmy Carter and what he meant to not only those of us who have the opportunity to serve, but to the average Georgian, the American, and people around this world. Thank you for blessing us. Lord, and we ask you continue to bless this great state. Amen. Thank you, members. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions?
Commending and congratulating Thomas Elliott Butler, congratulating Howard Sonny Turner upon his induction to the Georgia Association of Conservation Districts Hall of Fame. And for other purposes, that completes the reading of the privileged resolutions.
Is there any objection to adopting the privileged resolutions? The chair hears none, and the resolutions are adopted. A couple of reminders before we leave the chamber. Remember, leave your oaths of office on your desk. Leave your voting cards in your desk drawer. Remind you that Eggs and Issues is in the morning. If you can be there, be there. We have one more important piece of business that y'all will need to hear. So I'm going to ask members, we have a couple of announcements, and we'll need your attention just a little bit longer. Just a little longer. I think you'll like this next resolution. But before we go to that, so I can have your attention, members, take your seats. One of my favorite announcements, Representative Al, where are you? Here she is. Members, if you give your attention to the lady in the well, Representative Al has a challenge and a very important announcement. Representative?
This will be quick. Guess what, everyone? It's our first blood drive of the year, and it's going to be tomorrow. The blood drive will be parked in its usual location, which is between the Capitol building and CLOB, so you cannot walk from your office to this building without tripping over it, all day between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. I'm going to make a recommendation. First of all, I want us to break the record from last year, which was in itself a record, in terms of the number of donations we get from this body and our friends at City Hall and our friends at the Judicial Center. The other thing I would recommend is please, before you give blood, drink 2 full bottles of water. And after you give, when they offer you the Gatorade, please drink that also. All right? Thank you. See you tomorrow at the Bloodmobile.
I'm going to be there. You going to be there, Representative? Doctor? You're going to give blood tomorrow. Now, I apologize. My attention was turned, but you've scheduled this. Come back for a question, if you will. So did you mention you scheduled this so we'll have the opportunity to give blood twice before we leave here?
Yes, that is a great question. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The reason that it's so early in the session is we always try to fit in 2 blood drives during the session, and if someone wants to be a repeat blood donor, you need to have 56 days in between so you can, make more blood. That way we can have our second blood drive before we get too late in session when people aren't really feeling it. That is why it's tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Wait a minute now. I have one more question. Do you know which House member holds the record for the quickest donation of blood?
Is it you?
Yes, ma'am.
How did I know?
Rue, I don't know what your time was, but mine was good. So thank you, Representative. I encourage all of you to give that life-saving gift of donating blood. Thank you, Representative, being always positive on and helping us, encouraging us to get that done. Representative Parrish, where are you? You're recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Congratulations, everybody that's new, even to y'all that are old. I want to speak to the Macon-Bibb delegation. We want to meet at my office for a brief delegation meeting. Looking forward to seeing you all there right upon adjournment. Thank you.
Members, if you will give me your attention for our last order of business for the day. We are awaiting a resolution to make its way from the Senate back over here. They've already passed it. But I want to allow the majority leader, who has given a lot of time and effort to get this done. And so we'll still have to formally adopt this resolution. But while we're waiting, in the essence of time, I think it would be important that he explain, and y'all can take a look at this. I think you'll like it. Majority leader is recognized.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you very much for your leadership to make this possible. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I'm pleased to announce that for the third year in a row now, we will have a 40-day schedule approved here the first week. I know that for planning purposes, for our legislative work, our families, our businesses, for all of us, it's helpful to be able to plan well ahead. Let me begin by saying that as we go through this, we had one of the latest possible starts this year. To begin on January 13th is almost as late in the calendar as you can go, and so that makes it very difficult to allow for the time necessary, particularly for the budget writing process, to get us out as we would typically try to get out earlier. But with planning here, you can see when we'll be in. So first, if this is adopted by the House tomorrow or when the Secretary of Senate brings it in here, we'll be in all this week. Next week, we will be off for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday on Monday and for hearings. The week after, beginning Monday, January 27th, will be in Monday through Thursday. Clerk, if you could please flip to the next page. All right, then as you can see, February, this will be another Friday off that we'll have the week of February 3rd. Another Friday off we'll have the week of February 10th. That is helpful as members, particularly coming from South Georgia, need considerable amount of time to get home and need the opportunity to get back to for family and business time. The following week is President's Day, so President's Day holiday is off. If you could move down a little bit. Well, I should mention also, Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, time to spend with our most important constituent, right? So if you move on down, then we've got committee work day prior to crossover day, and crossover day would be set for Thursday, March 6th. Then into March, if you move down, we are going to have time that just naturally was available to us due to the late start of session and the time needed for the budget, where we will have Wednesdays for committee work day in March. So I know often House members, we send so many bills over to the Senate, and the Senate says, I just have so many House bills, we can't hear them or consider them. There's going to be ample time to have your bills in the Senate with these committee work days that will be available after crossover day. And then if we could move on down, March 17th, which is a Monday, St. Patrick's Day, there's often community events in many of our districts, so you'll have an opportunity to attend those. We'll be in Tuesday through Friday that week. And then finish on down from there, if you'll just move up a little bit. Sine Die will be Friday, April 4th, the 40th day of the legislative session. So you have some predictability now, and at the appropriate time, I'll ask for your favorable consideration of this schedule. Thank you for the opportunity to work on it as Majority Leader, and I'm very proud, 3 years in a row, we have 40-day calendars to present to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Members, we'll have to wait a few more minutes, but we'll take care of that piece of business before, so we'll have our schedule ready to go. Representative Adenia, good to see you again. Nice job yesterday at the prayer convocation. Appreciate you. You're recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Welcome, colleagues, and Happy New Year again. I'd like to announce the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus will be having a swearing-in ceremony and meeting and welcome current and new members. We're down in Cap 216. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Members, if you'll stay near your desk and stand at ease just for a minute while we await the resolution, the adjournment resolution. Thank you. House will come to order. The resolution has made its way over from the Senate. We can conclude the business of the day. Members will return to your seats. Let's take care of this final piece. All right, if I could have your attention, I'm going to recognize the majority leader. He's going to talk to us, he's going to present Senate Resolution 6. Is that correct? Mr. Leader, your attention, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So Senate Resolution 6 is the adjournment resolution that I just went through with you. We alternate years, House and Senate passing it first, and the Senate was just up this year. So Senate Resolution 6 is the schedule I just described, 40-day calendar for your planning purposes. Would ask for your favorable consideration, and I'm excited we can pass this again on day one. Thank you.
Absolutely, I'm very excited as well. All of your questions were answered when we put it up on the board, I assume. Okay, is there any objection to the adoption of Senate Resolution 6? Hearing none, the resolution is adopted. We have a schedule. Members, thank you I hope you enjoy your families that are still with you the rest of the day. It's a great day to be a member of the House. Great day to be a Georgian. Mr. Leader, again, thank you for your work and your team on making sure this happened. It's important for us all to have some organization in our lives and respect our private businesses and family events as well. The House Majority Leader, Leader F. Stration, is recognized for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until Tuesday, January 14th, 2025 at 11 a.m.
On the motion of the Majority Leader, does this House stand adjourned until 11 a.m. on Tuesday, January the 14th, 2025. All those in favor will say aye. Opposed? No. Wow, that's excellent. It's very clear. The ayes have it. This House stands adjourned.